Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Good morning. Glad to have you with us here at Pimlico. Naomi Tucker, and joined as usual by Morning Line odds maker Keith Fustel. Gorgeous day out here. You can see the sun is out. Definitely a good day to visit the track, right?
Absolutely, if you can make it out. Beautiful. Sunny skies right here in Baltimore right now. It's temperatures are good. I mean, it's comfortable enough. And yeah, I'm all set for a good day of racing. Unfortunately off the turf. We had a pretty big storm kind of roll through here right after the last race yesterday evening, but we survived and we're ready to move on.
And you're correct there. Indeed, all the races have been taken off the turf. We'll get to the track conditions in a second because we'll reflect on this during lightning round. But I do believe yesterday at the beginning of the show you said Jane Sibeli is very live. Now look what that got you.
Yeah, we got a couple winners. Not the biggest of prices, but hey, if it puts you on your feet, you're maybe in a little bit of a hole. Maybe it bailed you out. So yeah, I really thought. Lightning Rod, that was the horse I really like. We got a good price. I think 5-2 was okay on that horse, all things considered.
Yeah, definitely pays to listen to your selections, that's for sure. 1 week from now, we have a couple of initiatives coming up, one of those being Maryland Strong. Basically, 4 Maryland bred stakes, $300,000 in purses, all to highlight the strength of Maryland racing, the strength of the Maryland breeding program, which has garnered tremendous success. Most recently, we've mentioned this before, we'll keep saying it, Knicks Go winning the Whitney at Saratoga is a Maryland bred, was bred by Sabrina Moore. So congratulations to all of those, and let's continue breeding these beautiful animals and having so much luck with them on the global stage. Now, get a piece of Preakness. Look at that. What can we get there, Keith? Fan Appreciation Day on the same day.
Absolutely. You're going to get some souvenirs, so get here early. Gates open at 11:30. It's going to kind of be a first come, first serve to have your kind of pick at what you want. So it looks like some hats, some glasses, and some other souvenirs left over from Preakness and maybe some other days here. So yeah, take advantage of that if you can and get here early.
Yeah, I'll be queuing up for that, certainly. I wouldn't mind a nice Preakness hat or a glass. It's always a nice way to commemorate such an important day.
Yeah, the hat giveaways were always big back in the day. Would bring out the fans in droves. Maybe we can get one of those in the coming months. We'll see.
Oh, I feel like we need to get you a hat and we'll put it on for the morning show, and then you can promote the day coming up.
That'll work. It'll cover the bald spot back there. So, yeah, it's perfect.
No comment on that. We'll go to the track conditions. We already highlighted sunny skies here here. We did have some rain yesterday. Currently, the track is muddy, and we are not racing on the turf. How do you feel the main track might play, and what do you see here, Keith?
Yeah, right now we're going to deal with a little bit of a drying out track. Muddy, you see behind us, they've opened it up. They've harrowed the racetrack. So, yeah, interesting. I watch a couple races to see. I don't know if there's going to be a real big trend develop. I'm hoping it plays fair, but we're going to watch a couple races and see how things go.
Yeah, well, I'll keep checking in with you. We're always
Yeah,
talking
absolutely.
throughout the day to make sure that if there's any bias, we'll keep you up to date, or any trends that we see developing today, or of course if the track will be updated to good going or vice versa.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this 9-race card. First race of the day, as usual. Only pick 5, 12%, one of the lowest takeouts in the biz. And Keith and I, we use similar horses, but we don't completely agree. Now, this is a maiden claiming event, 16 to 12.5 for 3, 4, and 5 years old. We're going a mile and 16 on the main track here. And we'll start with your top selection here. On the rail is Jarlian. JD Acosta on board. Did run on the main track 7 furlongs at Gulfstream Park. It was an off-the-turf event. Wasn't disgraced, but still well beaten.
I don't think the pace is going to be blazing in here. Ran okay, as you say, 2 races back. Catches an off track. Going to be some moisture still left in this racetrack for the opener. I do think we'll get the good, maybe even fast by the end of the day if the rain stays away, Naomi. But second dam, loved the off track. Wide trip 2 back going 7/8. You've got Acosta going here, a rider that's going great guns. This horse will be forward. I think he can carry this one to victory from up close to the pace.
Yeah, I use Royalian, if I keep saying that correctly, as my top selection. You have him in your exacta as well, Yomar Orlando Ortiz. Well, the reason I love this horse is we know he stays the distance, and his ears were pricked leading last time out. He doesn't shy away when he was joined by another runner. Just got beaten by a head that day, but he responds so well to Yomar Ortiz. You know, Yomar is asking him, and he's like, all right, I got you. I'm running for you. Love seeing that at this maiden claiming level, where not always every horse wants to get on with it. And Royalian has shown to me that he responds and he's ready to at least try and get his nose in front.
Showed a lot of heart last time. Jock unfortunately lost the whip. Goldie's Boy came out of that race to run well on the turf going long. So Goldie's Boy in good form. So that's a plus for him as well.
Yep.
I thought Royalian was going to maybe sit for a little further back because of some of the speed in here. But Magical Love, who I thought was definitely going to go, is out. So that might put him a little bit more forward. But he has a rating here, and he can move into the space, and he can stay against this type of field.
And he's ran on the off-going. That was a muddy surface track course and distance, which I think helps. Now, you were mentioning we might get an upgrade, but this is the first race. So I'm still assuming we're going to be racing on this muddy surface, and at least this is a runner who's shown capable of getting over it with not too many problems. Race number 2, nickel claiming event, non-winners of 2 lifetime. And now, I landed on the number 6. It is a video spotlight for us, replicant on the outside for Hugh McMahon, taking quite a bit of a drop, I would say, except that he is going from maiden class to the nickel level, but he won at the maiden 40, so it's interesting that they go in for the nickel instead of, I don't know, claiming 16 or anything higher than that, which I thought we might expect. Now, he didn't break there. You see him right there, lost.
No, he came away poorly there, a little hesitated to break, and is able to sustain outside that particular afternoon. We've seen a little trend on the off tracks here that favor maybe that 3-4 path, and he rides that wave to victory here with JD Acosta. I see no JD today. Why not JD back on him this afternoon? A big drop, been kind of up at Penn National, relaxing a little bit, off a few months. I guess the only thing you can kind of take with him is that he was a horse that was off a long time, February 20 to March 21st. There's something there. Get what they can. He really didn't run that fast in any of his races, Naomi, so maybe just kind of getting where he's comfortable, and they maybe can progress through maybe 1 or 2 more conditions. We'll see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he stacks up. On paper, it looks like he's got a little bit of an edge when it comes to his dirt speed figures in comparison to some of the others. You look towards the number 3, Clever and Great. Most likely going to be one of the front runners in here. He did have the advantage for a little bit at this level last time out before having to concede to Gally Nipper, but he was the only one in the entire field that day that chased the leader. Now, in the end, had to concede, but by far the best of the rest.
Yeah, he's not going to come back to it. Looks like he's not going to come back to the 59. I'm hoping for a little drop in Replicant and a little bump up with this 3-horse Clever and Great. I think he's the speed of the speed here. I think he carries it a long way. I'm just not completely confident in this dropper. I think Tiny Tin is back to the level in which he needs to be, too. I think he can rally into the pace. So 3-1-6-4. Replicant I've got lined at 4 to 5. May ended up even lower than that, but I'm going to tread lightly in here.
Okay, well, tread lightly you will.
Yep.
We'll have a look at race number 3 in here as well. Maiden claiming 40 to 32,000 level, 5.5 furlongs. And I keep saying this, 2-year-olds very much enjoy seeing these youngsters making their debuts or coming back for a little bit more. You landed on one with experience in here.
Yeah.
Now going to be jumping from the rail. We had a scratch of Nay Dude, the number 1. The number 2, Synergy's Star, who made his debut in stakes company,
Yes.
no less,
Yes.
on the turf. Will now be sprinting on the main track. But it was interesting. He had an inside draw that day. Didn't break as sharply. Now we know with first-time starters, if they don't break from that inside draw, you kind of have to say, it's tough to get back from that.
Sure, it is. It's very tough. And this horse was a little fractious in the gate pre-race as well. Came away okay. Drafted back, was a little green early. Never really got situated. Make a slight run into the lane. But I like this turf to dirt angle. A trainer that doesn't run a lot of horses, but hitting at a good ROI. The experience. Sheldon Russell stays. He's got to turn a foot. Let's hope he can break a little bit quicker today and get out there towards the lead on this off track that I think is still going to play a little bit early. But no, I think the fact that Sheldon stays worked, and we saw this angle the other day. A couple of those horses off the Colonial Turf moved over here.
Yep.
We obviously saw McInville's horse for Laura Wallace just whistle after making a middle move on the turf. Similar to this. And even Hammy's horse ran okay that afternoon with the move turf to dirt.
I also think he's going to be helped if the conditions stay a little bit similar, because I feel like turf to muddy main track service is a little bit more translatable than sometimes that ultra fast main track. Now, quick turnaround, 12 days. He is bred to do all right on the main track. Half brother to Maryland Juvenile Phillies champion. Look who's talking. So certainly is one to keep your eyes on. I ended up using 2 of the first-time starters, giving Baltimore Bullet the edge here for trainer Claudio Gonzalez, who really does get his 2-year-olds fit. This horse has been preparing at Fair Hill. Now, at Monmouth. I don't mind him bringing him over here, just trying to find a good position for him. Dam hit on the second try. She was allowance level, so not too bad.
Yeah.
This is the first foal, though, so we're kind of sort of touch and go when it comes to the strength of the Dam side family.
Yeah, that mare, she was versatile. 248,000 she made. I think Mary Epler trained that one for a while. So, yeah, Baltimore Boulet, steady works. Nothing glaring. None of these horses with any, big-time blazing works you're kind of really looking at.
Yeah.
But the first full out of Charm City, though, she was versatile. And the way Claudio's record is with these type of horses, these 2-year-old firsts, it works. Twist and Twirl, I think, is going to take a lot of play. I lined 8 to 5 on kind of a high-profile Barn Hillwood stable. Maybe not get pounded to that, but I just – the ones that run, I really didn't see a whole lot. So jumping in, Twirling Candies, about 20% first time out. The mare, Access to Charlie, good. Friend Me Charlie, the half just one first time out by a lot. So, but Graham, first time starters, I saw
Isn't
this.
that strong?
Ooh, 1 for 23 with 2-year-old firsters on the dirt in Maryland the last 3 years. So there you go, short price, but you got to put that stat out there from a gambling standpoint. I've got to take a little edge against this one.
Not knocking the barn at all. Do terrifically well with the runners, but first time out might not be their speciality. He likes to give them a run, and then they peak maybe second or third time out.
Yep.
So hence, I thought I'd go with Baltimore. You say Bullet? Bullet?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
how we say it?
We'll see.
I thought Bullet would be appropriate if he does win.
Well,
So
there used to be the Baltimore Bullets, right? The basketball team. So
maybe named after them. We'll see. But I feel like those 3 are certainly the ones to look out for in this juvenile event.
All
Race number 4 started the Rainbow Pick 6, also started the Middle Pick 4. And you went with this sequence today. Keith, how are we playing it?
All right. It's a $24 ticket. Get you started. This horse from Penn's going to take a lot of money. A little bit of Lily. But I'm going to also go Joyful Noise, and I'm going to throw in Scarlet Tanager. 1, 2, 3 to get you started. 2 deep in the fifth with the 5 and the 7. Flava's Dream. I think she was okay on the turf, but now this race is off the turf. She's coming back quick, but anything close to that last race, I think, puts her in the winner's circle. Race 6 with the 1 and the 7. Good competitive race there. Lots of ways to go, but I've had to kind of narrow down this ticket. Going to the lead in Airport will be my top 2 in there. Spread a little bit more in race 7. 3, 4, 9, and 10. We've got a stat for Call Me Plucky. There's your ticket, $24. Add if you like.
$24, not bad to get involved for that price. So I can see that you didn't find a single. I didn't either in my late pick 5. So we'll talk about my ticket in just a second. Race number 4, 6 furlong sprinting for the ladies, $5,000 allowance. And we'll start with those that we have a video spotlight on. Scarlett Tanager for trainer Del Capuano is stepping it up a little bit in class here from that Delaware event there. And she's been enjoying a 3-win streak, looking for that 4th victory. And look, she was making quite an aggressive move here on the turn.
Yeah, a little break off the claim, and Dale kind of raised her there, and she went for the 12-5, worked her down, just playing the conditions beautifully. Wins this Open 62.50, just prompting the pace of Keeper in spite. Goes away comfortably. It looks like the track was a little heavy there, not really kind of exploding away like she did in that race on May 30th here, where she just drew off by 6. Big visual performance, but she is in deadly form right now. She's going to get some speed to target in the 1 and the 6. I think she's a player.
Yeah, no, I used her as well for that reason. You're right. Actually, when you look at that replay, looks like there's a little bit of kickback, just a little bit of moisture in it, a little bit deeper ground. That can put her in good stead here with the current conditions. I landed on little bit Italy, a little bit of Italy. That's how you say tongue twister. I'm sure Dave Rotman will do it better than I do. Angel Cruz, she's so fast early. She has a real draw. The race is going to go through her. It's going to be her that they need to catch. So I'm hoping that she can carry it all the way. She's
quick. She's kind of handled pressure. She's on the go back. Has beaten Open 12-5 company. At Parks, again, even the little bit of moisture in the track might help her. She's going to have to deal with Calypso Ghost, who's pretty quick to her outside. She has got to break cleanly from this rail. She does. She can handle a little bit of pressure. Maybe shake away, but she's going to have to look in her rearview mirror, because I think Joyful Noise back again quickly. We've seen Saray do this, though, and win with this kind of a move. Was against the bias last time, against a good field. Just kind of flat and late. I think she's going to be lurking by the time they hit the 3/16.
Yeah, I actually took a stand against her today, because indeed you're right. Mary Saray with that sort of week, this is an 8-day turnaround, does pretty decently. But I looked at her last race. You said she was against the grain. I thought she kind of just, perhaps she's starting to feel the pressure of racing so frequently that she's looking for a rebound here. I would have loved to have seen her with a month in between, and then I would have said, absolutely, she's coming back. She'll have these. I'm not too sure if that week in between is going to get her back up to that peak performance. So I'm taking a wait and see approach with Joyful Noise. But both of us like the number 1, like the 3. What about the number 4, Janie's Angel, Del Capuano? Charlie Marquez had a winner in the last yesterday and is continuing to try and elongate his lead in the jockey standings before we're done, which is what, how many days? 5 days we've got left?
And we
5
saw
race days.
JD got one yesterday, and then Charlie came back and won the nightcap to kind of keep that distance, but it's shrinking. The lead is shrinking. No, that Genie's Angels works. I think she's going to run a little bit faster. She ran really big 3 races back, like that against Miss Headley, who's come back to run well. I thought the last 2 fields a little softer maybe than a couple of these she's going to face, but not completely out of the realm of possibilities in here, especially if this one horse gets challenged. Brandon Colby does not come down here a lot to Maryland. I'm looking. He's 1 for 17. And 6 or 17 in the money in the last 5 years on the dirt. So, yeah, this is one of his better chances, though. He's bringing down a horse that's in very, very good form up there. And you look who she beat last time. That horse came back to win an allowance recently.
Yeah, no, I definitely hope that my speedy rail filly, you know how much I love sprinting distance, a speed horse drawn low. Hopefully she can kind of just shake off the rest and whistle home here. As we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the last section of the card.
And they're off. Second in the 2-path. Round on her inside. A quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 on top. It's last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Welcome back to Pimlico Racecourse. I'm Naomi Tucker alongside Keith Few. So you can see the sun is shining, gorgeous weather here. And we're on race number 5, which means time for my late pick 5 ticket. Tried to find a single, but just didn't trust any of the rudders enough to say, yes, I'm going to hinge my pick 5 around it. So I ended up spreading a little bit. 3 deep here in this first leg. 5 furlong. We're on the dirt for this maiden claiming event. The 5, 7, and the 10, my selections. And then race number 6, I'm backing on either it's going to be the veteran runner with the top speed figures going to the lead, or who I believe is the class in their Airport. I think he's going to show us that he's even better than we might have hoped, and coming back to that main track. Race number 7, 3 deep, 3, 4, and 9. Race number 8, 2 deep in there. I have to go with the class of the field, which of course is the number 8 Eastern Bay, but I'm not 100% sure he's in top peak condition, so I'll use the number 5 Belta Pissery, who is seemingly doing pretty well. Race number 9, 1, 3, and 8. Hopefully get myself home a nice late pick 5 ticket, $54 flat. Tried to always keep them a bit cheaper, but because I couldn't find a single, and I never feel that as a bettor you should be pushing a single if you can't find one. So this is what I ended up with, $54 flat to get you involved. Let's start talking about this Fillies and Mares 3-year-old and up maiden claiming event, 5 furlong sprinting on the main track. So we are off the turf, and the main track currently rated as goody, but muddy. Not goody, muddy, but we're hoping it will be upgraded to good later on throughout the day. I think there was some rain forecasted, but it might just bypass us. So I think we're going to be lucky. Definitely looking for that luck here. But both of us, like Flava's Dream of Derek Perham, every time I see the Perham stable, I remember getting beaten into the sort of big odds double, what was it, multiple months ago. Leonardo Career Ride. This is a filly who nearly broke her maiden on the main track, going 6 furlong last time out at the maiden 16 level. Now we're off the turf. She's catching a field that I feel like she can best.
Yeah, there's definitely horses in here that the form is very suspect. You've got some firsters out of barns that just don't win a lot with first-time starters. So maybe the perfect storm for Flava's Dream. Yeah, we're off the turf. Only one scratch, so good to see this one staying intact. And the 10 Capstone Girl does draw in, so don't forget the 10 Capstone Girl. But I think Flava's Dream ran a lifetime best last time. The money showed, and it stayed. It showed early, and it stayed all the way through the betting. This horse just missed to a horse, Digital Dream, that I think was dropping a little bit off the claim for Damon, but got in a lot of trouble early, made a bold run around the turn 5 wide. Just couldn't quite win the late battle. Back quickly, that's, I guess, again, the biggest concern. We're a lot of these horses are coming back 7, 8, 9 days, but if she can maintain the form, I think there's a little bit of a questionable speed up top. Stalk and pounce. If she comes away cleanly, that opening 1/8 of a mile is a big concern for me.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything to add there. I agree with you. She isn't a fast filly early.
No.
She needs to have that flow in her favor. But her turn of foot was encouraging last time out, and that's what I am putting my chips on. Use the number 7, Ordinary Girl. We do have a video spotlight of her last effort that was on turf. But, of course, she'll have to translate that to the dirt. And what happened here is that she got away okay, but then just kind of, had the door slammed on her later, didn't she?
Yeah, right there. You see her steady, maybe not even a 16th of a mile into the race, but she just broke just a tad slow. And then she's keen here. She's getting a little bit rank, trying to get this filly to relax, and she just really doesn't check sharply into the turn. Yep. And it's over. But I do think, going back to the main track, she had trouble. She had an excuse in her debut on the main track. But if there's a filly that's going to win it on the front end, I think she's the one. She has a turn of foot. She showed it, pretty big turn of it on the turf, 2 races back. But she has got to come away cleanly, and she's going to be hustled into this, I'm sure, by Charlie Marquez.
Yeah, I think Charlie Marquez would have looked back indeed, as we did at 2 races ago as well, seeing that she's capable of getting to the front and maybe relaxes a little bit more up front, because you can see she just wasn't comfortable being reined back there by JD. She was saying, no, sir, I am not having it. Let me go. So perhaps just, if she breaks, let her bounce, let her use that early talent that she has, and she'll be more comfortable. So I rate her highly. I use the number 10 Capstone Girl, draws in from the AE list for trainer Jeremiah Engelhardt, was raced at Belmont as well as Saratoga. Now we know how tough those Saratoga meets are. Clearly, she wasn't really up to that level, so now they bring her down here, trying to find a spot that suits more in relation to her ability and getting first-time Lasix.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't shown a whole lot. She's had some excuses. You're going back to those races as a 2-year-old at Saratoga. You see the slight lunge at the break in a big field. You can't do that first time out up there against those quality horses. And then again, a little trouble jammed down inside with no run. Draws outside today. Lasix goes on. We know Engelhardt, when he's coming down with the maidens, he means business. I'm sure he doesn't mind if she finds another home. But they're gonna drop here to try to win. I think she's a forward presence today.
Yeah, I'm using her because I'm just not 100% sure how she'll stack up against these, but I don't want to be on the other side if she does romp home by a couple of lengths or more, finding these foes much more to her liking. Race number 6, allowance for Maryland bred, 6 furlongs sprinting on the main track as well. And let's start with your top selection in here, which is the number 7 Airport, also my top selection. Now, my reasoning here is, if I look back at what he showed on the main track 3 starts ago, 4 starts ago, there's a little bit of class there. I remember that race in April when he was going against a salty field. Yeah, Cry No More, Baptized the Boy. Yeah. I just thought, you know what, if he continues that progression, what he showed on the main track, I think he's just a touch better than some of the others in here.
Yeah, and I like the fact they're bringing the rider. They're bringing Pablo Morales in the riding. And I went back and looked. I mean, they team up down at Tampa. They win a lot of races. They're like a 30% clip. They mean business, so they're bringing this guy down. Dirt off of those 2, kind of just suspect, even turf race. It's going to wake him back up. He's got plenty of flow to run into as well. There are some quick horses early in here. Going the lead is quick. Higher Purpose. Dr. Rusty Remington's lay close enough. Even Rad Paisley with a clean break and a clean early trip will be in range, I believe. But yeah, I think things are going to set up nicely for Airport. He showed a really good turn of foot in that 5/8 race.
Agreed. And then going to lead seems to be the veteran on the rail that has shown that his talent is early speed. But unfortunately, last time out was an off-the-turf event over 5 furlongs. Kind of got out sprinted early. Broke okay. Didn't have sort of that quickness that some of the others had in that field. Thought he showed a new dimension, being able to still come from behind. But this time around, I think it sets up for him to do what he loves most. Get the rail, go to the front. And, you know, should be the leader early. However, looking at this field, I feel like there might be some others that want to press him and make his life difficult.
Higher Purpose is very fast early. I mean, even Starburst showed that speed. Been a while in debut. But going to lead, I liked what he showed. He showed a lot of grit last time. And great job by Damon and company. The patience that they showed off the claim to hold on. You know, they got a horse they claimed for 25. In February 2020, a lot of patience. The owner, you got to like owners like this that they're willing to kind of just stay the course. Hey, trust the trainer, you know. And this horse responded to that care. Ran big against the bias 2 races back. He's versatile enough. His key is don't check, don't get in trouble going into that turn. So if things kind of gang up, Horacio, he's just got to be subtle, you know, ease back if he has to and make a move into it because he's shown the ability to do that.
Yeah, let's talk about perhaps one of the wild cards in this race. So let's look at his debut race and a win, the number 6 Starburst in here. It's been away from track for 308 days, so he won as a 2-year-old. Did it incredibly naturally. You can see him here. Went to the front, had some company early.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother him. He just kind of keeps cruising, keeps doing his job, and now coming back older with Lasix going on, and the stable, the Stidhams, don't do too bad with these longer layoff horses.
I don't think he wasn't well, man. $1.80 to 1 in an 11-horse field. That's huge. And showing the ability to just kind of show that speed. Was nudged on a little bit to get the lead, handled the pressure, and just kicked away here. Was under a drive till about, 60, 70 yards out. And he was worked on here to do it. He did ride the best part of the racetrack that particular day. So, how's he come back? How's he going to stack up? He may have to come from a little bit off the pace, but we'll see. He could certainly have that dimension. A lot of talent in debut, ran fast enough, works look good too. So, yeah, interesting horse here, Starburst. Byers' figure doesn't stack up, but I had to make the horse about 9-2. I think he's going to take play off of that visually impressive debut.
Well, you mentioned the speed figures. That is the big question here. With that going from a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old, I haven't seen him in a while. Can he progress to add about 20 points to that Beyer figure, which he'd probably have to run here to win?
He's going to have to jump up. I mean, I think it's within the realm of possibilities. You look at the breeding there. He's a stallion that's gotten these horses to run well early. And horses out of that race have come to do okay. Rapid Response was a recent upset winner with like a 70 Beyer. Tauber, I think, no, there wasn't Tauber. There was another horse in there, 007.
007 came back to win an allowance of, I think, open company against Elders.
Right, so he kind of buried okay horses. So I think naturally he's got enough talent to step up. All the way up, we'll see. He may need one.
We'll have to see indeed. Race number 7, another allowance event. Mile and an eighth on the dirt, so we're not racing on the turf at all today. Keith, let's start with your top selection. Call Me Plucky. Trainer Brittany Russell and Sheldon Russell. Now, Brittany's had a terrific weekend. We'll talk about that during lightning round. Blinkers go on. Let's talk about the stats that this trainer has shown with these type of horses.
Yeah, the last 2 years on the dirt, 7 for 23, 30%, 14 for 23 in the money with the first-time blinker angle, ROI. It's a positive one of 235. There's plenty of scratches in here. Take out the 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8. Call Me Plucky last time out was coming off of a break from August to July, a long break. Sheldon, the gates open. He just kind of wrangled the horse back, took a hold, moved up into contention, maybe far turn, kicked on okay. I think the move back to the dirt works today.
Well, he broke his maiden on the dirt, so certainly no problem with getting his picture taken on that surface, and then came back on the turf. Blinkers go on. I thought that was interesting because I didn't mind his running style. I thought he was produced at the exactly right time by Heavy and Toledo 2 starts ago. Do they want him to just be up closer because of what happened on the turf, because he wasn't there early?
I think Sheldon knows, right? He's on these horses. You got to feel that, hey, this something might just wake this horse up, get him to follow through a little bit better. He made a big run going back. I think it was debut and just flattened out a little bit late. But the only thing that concerns me here is this a shorter field? If they kind of walk the dog early, I'm hoping those blinkers keep him close where he can kind of stay in touch and grind it out against this group. I don't see that big sweeping move. I don't know if they're going to go guns a-blazing depository.
I don't think we will.
Right. That's where I got to hope. At 1 1/8, right, he can just grind these guys down. But he's got to be in touch by the quarter pole.
He has to, because that's why I went with depository. I think he's going to try and take the lead here, slow them right back down. He's proven over course and distance. 2 starts ago was third, only beaten by 3/4 lengths over this 1 1/8. Some of these, I'm just wondering if the 1 1/8 is just, a 16 or an 1/8 too far. Not with this lad. And I think he's going to get the run of the race, because we've seen that before. Sometimes these longer races, when you're questioning some of the horses want to stay, you see a bit more hesitancy when it comes to the pace early on, which is completely understandable. So hence I'm trying to make use of depository, and I'm hoping that Charlie Marquez is going to say, look, this horse nearly took them coast to coast 2 starts ago. Let me try that trick again.
Yeah, he slowed things down, took the pressure. That was first time Lasix, very grudgingly late at 1 1/8. I do think Johnny Sack, who's a horse, again, what you just said, is 1 1/8 just a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But against this group, he's got some talent. Man, he showed a ton of talent in debut back in February at Laurel Sprinting. He's faced a little better group, I think, the last 2. Against the bias, May the 14th, you see that 4 deep, made that move a little fade. So he comes back to a track that's playing fair. He's into the mix a long way as well, and bouncing around, we'll try to run into it. Shorter field, competitive field. I don't know if anybody's going to run away with race 7.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Race number 8, optional claimant starter allowance, 6 furlong the distance. Here we'll start with the number 5 Belter Pissery, because I ended up using him underneath. Still think that the number 8 Eastern Bay is the class in here, but such a big class drop, because I don't think he's really shown his peak form. So then you start looking at other horses that have been, a little bit more consistent, and for a barn that has been doing quite well on this circuit during this extended Preakness meet.
Absolutely. And here's a horse was hoping, the rain stayed around, the track stayed wet. But I think Belter Pissery has a chance at an upset. He's run some big races. It's a reclaim for Kieran. There is enough flow in here where he can kind of sit mid-pack and maybe get the jump on Eastern Bay. Eastern Bay last time just was dull. Got bounced around out of the gate, made a little run up to the inside. He actually faded in the last 16th of a mile. I thought he'd follow through a little bit more, but this drop to the 25 in here for the 25.
I don't think it's encouraging that he is dropping.
Well, he's got another one completed passes dropping, I think, tomorrow as well. So, but he still should circle and make a run into it.
He's still the class of the field, especially now. In my opinion, the 1A. I was going to try and beat Eastern Bay with C now, because Eastern Bay just hasn't been as tough as of late. I'm not as encouraged by the fact that they are dropping him, but still the class that he showed, Polynesian Stakes winner, should get him home here against a group that, isn't as tough as he's faced in his last couple. Wonder where Craig is. We'll talk about him in a second. Won a stakes at Saratoga yesterday. Those were hard-knocking horses. They were not an easy field. This decisively softer than what he's shown in his last couple. So how much will you take on that? Like, how much does the class come into play?
Yeah, it helps. There's some fast horses in here, but you're talking about some question of form from these other horses coming in. They're really not at peak form when you really look at it. Stroll Smoking, we'll see if he can jump up off the claim. Noble Commander, I know one thing. He's going to be around a while. He's going to the front. He's going to try to go. But Rough Sea is my kind of price shot underneath in your exactas and tries. He gets back to what he needs, sprinting with a lot of pace in front of him. So
I know that. I do believe you've been chasing him for a little bit.
Yeah, I've been chasing Rough Sea.
We'll see if he gets home here today. The nightcap is mile 116 on the main track. Maiden claiming 16,000. You landed on one most wanted on the rail for trainer Damon DeLodo. Fico has shown good form on the turf. Now we are back on the main track. How do you think that's going to translate here?
I think it's going to be okay. He just needs to avoid the horror trip that he had last time out through the opening, maybe quarter of a mile, maybe even a little bit further than that. I'm looking at this field. There's not a slew of speed. Maybe Jessville goes up. This horse was a little bit keen. I think with a good break, he's okay. He's going to handle the dirt. Point of entries are about 11 or 12% on the main track. The mother won a couple times on the main track. The fact that they keep him in here, they catch a shorter field, take out the 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10. I think a clean break. He's a stayer, and I think he gets it done.
Yeah, as we'll conclude this handicapping segment, and we'll get on to some other interesting topics in Lightning Round.
Okay.
We'll start with Team Sibeli and Fergal Lynch recording a double together. Now, you mentioned it on the morning show. They're incredibly live. We'll look back at what made their double. That is Fergal Lynch there in front, lightning rod, making it happen on the turf. Now, earlier that day in race number 5, they got the spoils as well with Hushed Hijinks. Look, if those two pair up, they're alive, aren't they?
Yeah, we don't put those stats up there for nothing. You know, it's nothing to sneeze at. You were able to use it twice to your advantage. Hopefully you're paying attention yesterday. Yeah, that one, first time gelding, the move up in class, protect move, kind of the wake up for me. And I didn't think that he'd get to the front and dominate like that. I thought he'd actually come from a little bit off the pace. But when nobody kind of showed that speed, Fergal Lynch said, let's go, and just control things up front. And I think came back with a pretty good number, 71 buyer. Not bad for that
bad
group.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, stat plays for the win, right?
That's it.
They keep coming in, so keep an eye out for them. Another team that had a terrific day. Well, it is Brittany Russell. Normally we see Sheldon Russell aboard, but I don't believe he was in Saratoga. But look at that wonder where Craig is last seen winning at Pimlico at 3 other den level. Impressive 102 buyer that day. Went on to secure his first stakes victory at Saratoga yesterday in the tail of the Cat Stakes. He'd been placed in the Gold Fever Stakes as a 3-year-old before, but really put 2 and 2 together here.
Absolutely. And a little hiccup out of the gate, was able to recover, get out to the front, control things, a little drift there, no big deal through the stretch. He still ran through the wire. Haven't seen the buyer yet for that, but we talked about the one prior before that was like 102. And he went off at a good price.
Buyer.
I mean, Morning Line Guy had him 9-5 up there. Gunnar does a very good job. Slipped away at a great price for the players. Hopefully you had him.
I had Wonder Where Craig is on top that day because the reason he had a bit of a price was I think at Delaware wasn't his track, wasn't his day, kind of flopped a little bit, so came back looking for a rebound. He did.
Yeah.
And quite decisively as well with that 102 bar. So massive congratulations to everyone. Always love seeing these Mid-Atlantic campaign horses do well at these incredibly prestigious meets. Talking about action coming up at Saratoga, we have BWI Turf Cup Victor Field Pass looking for 4-star Dave Glory. You see him there. Now that was a horse race. You see, what was it, the Wesley Ward horse there on the inside. I had to try and run him down, and he did. You can't see Field Pass. He's on the rail there.
No.
Victor is setting down to work here, and
I saw him because I was crying to the wire as I had the 6. And I needed that horse to stay inside and not let Field Pass get up the rail.
Ramsey's Solution, that was the other horse on his outside.
But no, great effort. We talked about that day. He was dropping back into the grade 3 competition. Now he's back into deeper waters again today. You're going to get a much better price this afternoon in New York. Very good race up there in the 4-star day. But talking about other horses that traveled, Mata won up there yesterday at a big price for Trombetta. Yep,
These-
another winner.
These Mid-Atlantic campaign horses keep doing terrifically well. So we'll make sure that you're aware of anyone running there, because aside from the fact that he won that Grade 3 race, he's also a Maryland bred. So
Cool.
love to see it.
That's cool.
Keep your eyes peeled for that Grade 1 4-star Dave coming up later today at the spot. That will do it for us. 9 races on the card. I'll be back later today, joined by Callie Francois. And good luck, everyone.
You got it. Good luck.